This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union. All right, Bruce, a couple of weeks into camp. Give us your thoughts on how things are going.
Awesome, energetic, enthusiastic. Team is really buying in to tougher together, right? What Coach Freeze has talked about and implemented with the football team, being selfless and being all in with each other, right? So just watching that with the players has been awesome. You know, those guys just giving their all at practice and just plugging away, effort, being resilient, knowing their why, and having some command about themselves. So it's been pretty cool.
How has it been different around practice this week with Coach not being around?
A little different, right? You know, the good thing about it, Coach being in the hospital and just giving us information from time to time, and him hiring us, right, and all the guys that are in the building and women that are in the building, we're all a part of him, right? So giving and leading and being servant leaders for our football players and this football program from him, it's been good. It's been good. It's been a little different, but good.
Your running back room's one lighter now with Frank Boyd moving to cornerback. What was that adjustment like for him with the move from offense to defense?
For Frank, just talking to him in passing, it's been good. He's athletic enough, right, to do some things special teams wise, and you know I don't get a chance to watch any of his film defensively, but I know he's an addition for that room. For our room, it's given Troy Henderson and Trayon Sibley more reps, right? Because they're always 1 or 2, 3 plays away from getting on the field, especially with 23 Frankie and Pickett and J-Mac up in the top. So, but it's giving some reps for those other guys, you know.
In the spring, it sounded like J-Mac was kind of coming on a little slow. Has he picked things up this camp?
He has. It's still a work in progress with J-Mac, you know. Learning his body and his body language with the ball and protecting. He's learning how to play this position a little bit differently from what he had learned before at the other school, and then having been on scout team, right? So now he's with us, and spring has been a little, you know, just learning process, right? But now we're in training camp right now, and he's getting it. He's starting to understand where he's supposed to put his eyes on protection and how to carry the ball correctly, and the energy to use on the field to get everyone else going. So,
What have you seen out of Frankie Hickson after not having him in the spring?
wow, Frankie's the dude, man. Frankie's the guy, man. How about Frankie being a third-team, fourth-team guy a couple years ago, and then he falls into this spot where he rushes for 1,000+ yards last year. Having his leadership in that room, having his leadership on the field with the football program has been pretty cool, right? Frankie, man, he's a special talent running the ball, right? He's a special talent. Frankie's got to learn how to block a little bit better with his pass protection technique. Get his feet going and putting his eyes in the right spot and learn how to punch correctly. But he's getting there, right? He's not totally polished, but he's getting there.
Just 2 weeks till the season starts. How close are your guys to being where you want them to be when you kick off?
We got some work to do. You know, we're still working. Not quite there yet. You know, we still got to learn the ins and the outs and the nuances of this offense and what the scheme brings, and you know, with the RPOs and, you know, when we're pass protecting and things that don't involve us in running the ball. You know, if it's on the RPO and the quarterback throws it, you know, we still got to learn how to finish through and sell the fake or pick up a block, you know, from here or there if someone's coming off the edge. So we're not there yet, but we're getting there. It's getting closer and closer day by day, right? So, you know, that being a coaching cliche, but it's getting there. It's getting there.
Peyton was able to get some reps during the spring, kind of, I think, dinged up his shoulder during the spring game. How have you seen him being fully healthy now?
Barry in the training room, they've done a good job. Haven't had any issues yet, but he's learning how, again, body language and how to use his body in playing that position. He's learning how not to throw a shoulder in on a block, but hey, use your hands and from your lats and just push and strike and be violent with his hands. So not using his shoulders and on some blocks. So he's getting there. He's still learning how to perform with his hands, and, you know, when it's asking for it. And just, we've been doing some things and teaching the guys how to to run behind their shoulder pads correctly instead of just leaning in and just all of a sudden just using it incorrectly, you know what I'm saying? So with our down shoulders and getting our shoulders down on some runs and trying to break through glass.
With Coach's absence, Frankie shared with us some sound clips of Coach on the music system. What are some of those things that got recorded, and whose idea was it to do that?
I don't know whose idea it was, but snap it, right? Snap it. Hey, we're going fast. It's tempo. Tempo's our friend. Energy, right? So snap it is his biggest thing, right? We want to get down, and we're in warp speed, and let's go. Snap it, So
Who knows when to start playing? Who senses that? Who gives the direction on that?
Jim Nichols.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's Jim Nichols or Chris Duff. One of those two guys, right?
So the first time that happened was everybody stopping and looking like, what's that?
I think he caught some people off guard. I think he caught some guys off guard. Man, his voice, right? So hearing Coach's voice, that's the one thing, right, you talked about earlier, right? Just hearing his voice and his presence, man. We're all living through him on the field right now from day to day, but just knowing it. So we just got to lock in, and when we hear snap it, let's go. So.
I'm sure we'll talk to you before the game against Syracuse, but you shared with me your relationship with Dino Babers.
Yes,
and now that you're able to kind of see it 2 weeks from now, your thoughts on going against him, a coach that you played for back in the day?
Coach Babers, man, looking forward to seeing him and giving him a hug before the game and hugging him after the game and just getting a chance to talk to him for a couple minutes. But my best friend is Brian Ward, right? He's the defensive coordinator there. So I can't wait to see Brian, man. Me and Brian played ball together, junior college ball. We're both from Arizona. There's not many guys coaching at this level from Arizona. There's a few, right? And it's a small fraternity of guys. But I'm looking forward to seeing Brian now. That's my guy, man.
Have you ever coached against them before?
Have not had that opportunity to coach against them before.
What's that experience going to be like?
Oh, shoot, man. Love, right? That's that guy, man. Me and Brian have come up in this game together, and I smile because we haven't called each other much in the last 2 months or so, but we stay in touch, and I'm just looking forward to see him. Yeah.
Also looking forward to put some points on him too, right?
Yeah, man, God willing, man. Guys just go out and execute and perform, and get the chance to represent this university, man, here in our house, right? Right here in this field, right here in Williams Stadium, man, and just going out and just playing for Liberty, right? LU, and looking forward to that, right? They got to come here and play us, right? Whether they're 21, 115th, or whatever, Syracuse has got to come here to Lynchburg to play us. So looking forward to that, right? And getting, within the next couple weeks, getting amped up and fired up about it.
Where'd you play for Dino Babers at?
At Arizona. Yeah, so I walked on there and actually had another position, Coach Mark Lunsford, and then my last year there, Coach Baber moved over to running backs, and it's crazy, man. I ran into, when I say that, I was thinking about it the other day, right? So Coach Tomey passed away, I want to say last month or so, over the summer, and just seeing some pictures. Wasn't able to go out there, but saw some pictures on Facebook and whatnot, and seeing some of those guys that I played with there, and been a part of the couple teams there, right? So I think of Homer Smith, right, the offensive coordinator. I'm kind of going off track here a little bit, but that guy, right, is the 4-minute offensive guy. But Dino was there and did an awesome job. Learned a lot from those guys at Arizona when I was there.